Hi, Phyllis here from SouthernFrugal.com. For supper tonight we are having Fettuccine Alfredo. Now, contrary to popular belief, this is not really an Italian dish. It's more of an Americanized dish. In Italy, they pretty much don't even know what Fettuccine Alfredo is. They don't, except for I think there's a little chain of restaurants where it was really invented. But the Italians have all kinds of pasta and cheese dishes, but this particular one is mostly American. Now I've got 1/4 of a cup of butter, and it's just slightly clarified. To that, I'm going to add a teaspoon of garlic powder. And just stir that around a little bit. And now I'm going to add 1 3/4 cups of heavy whipping cream. Heavy whipping cream. And this is a very, very rich Fettuccine Alfredo. Very rich. So now I wanted to stir this around and get it hot, but I do not want it to boil. And I'm already cooking my fettuccine noodles. Doesn't matter what kind you get, most of them taste the same in this country anyway. So this is a 16-ounce pack. I use half of this. Save the other for yet another time. Let me make sure I get all that whipping cream out of that. Okay, so now we're just going to wait for this to get hot. It shouldn't take too long. Turn it up, it's on medium-low really. Now the other thing you're going to need is 1 cup of grated parmesan cheese, and I just use the Kraft's in the bottle. Now I'm going to top it with some of the shredded fresh parmesan, and I just had this for another recipe, so I'm going to use a little bit of that to top the bowl when we get it in the bowl. So you're going to cook your pasta till it's al dente, which is just, still a little bit firm. Alright, we're just waiting for this to get hot. Now, I love Fettuccine Alfredo. Oh, I love it really better than spaghetti sauce. So we go to Italian restaurants, or even a place like Olive Garden, when they have it on the menu, that's what I get. Now, I'll give you a little history behind this. It was a guy who owned a restaurant named Alfredo let me see if I say this right, Di Lillo. I'm not sure how to say his last name, but anyway, in 1914 he started serving this in his restaurant. And the story goes that in 1920, Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks were honeymooning in Rome in 1920. And they went into this restaurant and they got some of the Fettuccine Alfredo, and they loved it. So they took the recipe back to Hollywood and started serving it to their friends, and it spread from there. So in Italy, if you would ask for Fettuccine Alfredo in a restaurant, they really wouldn't know what you were talking about. Isn't that funny? Yeah, it's mostly a dish that was made popular in this country. I'm going to check my... Okay, it's just barely getting warm. So now I'm ready to dump in my Parmesan cheese, and we're just going to keep stirring this. Oops, sorry. After we dump it in. Now my pasta's almost ready. Now this cheese will melt, but it will also thicken up the sauce. And again, this is like a major comfort food. I just love it. I remember when Stouffer's first came out with those little dinners in the little plastic bag type thing. This was probably in the 1980s. I used to get those at the grocery store all the time. I just couldn't get enough of it. I would eat it for lunch and whenever. And nobody in my family really loves it as much as I do. I think this is sort of a woman's thing. I think women just probably like it more than men do. Alright, I'm going to use my little whisk now and just keep stirring it. Now, one of the things you'd want to put in this is probably fresh cracked black pepper. Now, I don't really put pepper in mine, but if you're making this, you probably want to put some pepper in yours. And again, you really don't want this to boil. Oh, it smells divine. To me, this is like just wonderful. And I really don't serve it with anything else. And I really can't say that I like Fettuccine Alfredo with shrimp or chicken or anything extra. I just like it really plain. Now you can add all kinds of stuff to it. And I've certainly had it at restaurants with shrimp and also with chicken. But I really prefer it just plain. I don't even serve bread with it or a salad. I just like it just plain. Alright, it's beginning to thicken up now. And the thing is, the sauce is very rich. If you make it with the whipping cream and the butter, then it's just going to make a very rich sauce. Alright, now it's just about ready to boil. I need to cut my burner off and move it off because I do not want it to boil. And remember, we've already put 1 cup of grated parmesan cheese in here. And this is really an American dish, it really is. Let's see how my pasta's doing. And I like a lot of sauce with mine. In fact, after I've eaten all the fettuccine pasta out of mine, I like to have a spoon to get all the sauce out of the bowl. Alright, that's got to cook for just a couple more minutes. I've already turned my burner off here because I do not want this to boil. As soon as this pasta gets done, which will be about another minute or so, we're going to be ready. Okay, the pasta should be ready now, so I'm going to drain that real quick. We'll be right back. Okay, we have drained the pasta now and we are ready to put this together. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a whole bunch of this. This is the grated Parmesan cheese that you get in the refrigerated section. Just because I love it that much, I'm going to go ahead and put that in. That's probably at least a half a cup. Super rich sauce. That will melt pretty quick. See that cheese? So delicious. Alright, we're going to go ahead and add our pasta now. Just dump it all in at one time. So delicious. Oh, I can't wait to have some of this. All right, now, after it's all coated, and you can see I've got a lot of the sauce in here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just put a lid on the pan and just leave it sitting here for maybe about 10 minutes. Then we'll be ready to eat. And I'm going to dish it up and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, we are ready to eat our fettuccine alfredo. I want you to have a look at it. See how it's gotten really, really thick? I love it. All right, I'm just going to dip some of this in the bowls and try real hard not to make a mess. All right. Oops. It's all right. All right, I'm just going to dump this one in. This one will be mine because it's got more sauce in it, and I love it, so I get the most sauce. All right. I can't wait, can't wait. You do need to let it sit there just covered on the stove for, 5 or 10 minutes because the sauce will get really thick when you do that. All right, we're ready to eat. There's the bowl. Super, super good. All right, we'll see you next time.